In the previous chapter, we entered a world unlike anything humans experience today. A world ruled by ice. A world where survival depended on fire, shelter, and cooperation. Ancient humans had no thick fur, no sharp claws, no natural armor against freezing temperatures. Yet they survived. They learned to control fire. They created shelters from the harsh environment. They worked together as communities. But one challenge remained. Even with a warm fire and a protected shelter, their bodies were still exposed to one of nature's most dangerous forces: the cold. And the next great human breakthrough would not come from changing the environment around them. It would come from changing what they carried on their own bodies. Clothing. The human body is an incredible machine. But when it comes to extreme cold, it has a major weakness. We are not covered in thick fur. Our skin cannot block freezing winds. Our bodies lose heat quickly when temperatures drop. Compared to animals that evolved for icy environments, humans seemed completely unprepared. A woolly mammoth carried a natural coat of thick hair and layers of fat. A polar animal could survive freezing temperatures without thinking about it. But humans had to invent their own protection. And this revealed one of the greatest secrets of our species. When nature did not give humans what they needed, humans created it themselves. Early humans began using animal skins to protect themselves from the cold. At first, these coverings were simple. A piece of hide wrapped around the body. A layer placed over the shoulders. Something that blocked the wind. But over time, humans became more skilled. They learned which animal skins provided the best insulation. They learned how to clean and prepare hides. They learned how to shape materials around the human body. This was more than making clothing. It was creating a personal survival system. A modern person can walk outside on a freezing day wearing a winter coat, boots, and gloves. But imagine creating that protection from scratch. No factories. No machines. No synthetic materials. Only stone tools, animal bones, and human intelligence. One of the most remarkable inventions of Ice Age humans was something tiny. A needle. Not a metal needle. A needle made from bone. It may look like a simple object today, but thousands of years ago, it represented a revolutionary idea. Because loose animal skins had a problem. Cold air could enter through the gaps. Wind could steal precious body heat. Humans needed clothing that could fit tightly around the body. The bone needle allowed them to sew pieces of hide together. They could create fitted clothing. They could make stronger layers. They could design protection that moved with their bodies. A tiny tool helped humans survive one of the largest challenges on Earth: the freezing cold. Sometimes, the greatest changes in history do not come from the biggest inventions. They come from the smallest ideas. But clothing was not the only reason humans survived. The human body itself also responded to extreme environments. Scientists studying human adaptation have discovered that populations living in colder climates developed physical traits that help them conserve heat. The human body can adjust. It can change how it uses energy. It can increase heat production. It can protect vital organs. One fascinating adaptation scientists study is a type of body fat called brown fat, which helps generate heat by burning energy. These natural abilities were not enough to survive the Ice Age alone. But combined with intelligence, clothing, shelter, and cooperation, they became part of humanity's survival strategy. Humans were not simply fighting the cold. They were learning how to live with it. But behind every discovery and every survival technique, there were real human lives. Real families. Real emotions. Imagine an ice age mother holding her newborn child. The outside world is frozen. The wind is howling. The temperature is dropping. And that tiny child has no understanding of the danger surrounding them. The mother's entire world becomes protecting that baby. She wraps the child in carefully prepared animal skins. She holds the baby close to her body. She uses her own warmth to keep another human life alive. Today, parents have hospitals, heated homes, and modern medicine. But thousands of years ago, a mother's body and her knowledge were the child's greatest protection. Survival was not just about hunting animals or building shelters. It was about love. It was about sacrifice. It was about protecting the next generation. But clothing alone could not solve every problem. A human wearing warm clothing still needed food. And finding food during the harshest winters was one of the greatest challenges of all. The frozen landscape changed everything. Plants disappeared beneath snow. Animals became harder to track. Every journey became a risk. A failed hunt was not just disappointment. It could mean hunger. So ancient humans developed another powerful ability: understanding the world around them. They studied animal movements. They followed migration patterns. They remembered seasonal changes. They learned where life survived when everything appeared frozen. Their environment was a giant puzzle. And every generation added another piece. The Ice Age created pressure. But pressure created innovation. Humans began developing more advanced tools. Sharper hunting weapons. Better clothing. Stronger shelters. More organized communities. They were no longer simply reacting to danger. They were predicting it. They were planning ahead. And this ability separated humans from almost every other creature on Earth. A wolf reacts to the environment. A human can imagine a future environment and prepare for it. That ability became humanity's greatest survival advantage. The story of ancient humans surviving the cold is not really a story about defeating winter. Winter was too powerful. The glaciers were too enormous. The storms were too dangerous. Humans survived because they learned something important. They did not need to become the strongest animal. They needed to become the smartest survivor. Their greatest weapon was not their body. It was their creativity. Their greatest protection was not fur. It was cooperation. Their greatest advantage was not speed. It was knowledge passed from one generation to another. And this knowledge would eventually allow humans to move across continents, cross oceans, and transform the entire planet. But before humanity could become the dominant species on Earth, they had to survive one final challenge. A challenge that could destroy entire communities. A challenge hidden beneath every winter landscape. Finding enough food to survive. And that is where the next chapter of humanity's frozen journey begins. The hunt for survival.